Worldwide, Channel 4 Dothan.
Across America tonight, a plan to ease inner city desperation. But can a desperate economy afford it? And even then, will it work?
Teach a juvenile delinquent to cook, and you'll have a juvenile delinquent who cooks.
The world's largest collection of magic tricks, and the SNL with something up its sleeve. And who sends our troops to war, Congress or the President? From CBS News, this is America Tonight, with Charles Kuralt in Los Angeles and Leslie Stahl in Washington.
Good evening. Crime and drugs and violence and hopelessness are all millions of American children know. And these kids are dragging the whole country down. The United States faces no more dangerous problem than this one. Can we solve it? Yes, we already know how. All we have to do is have the will and spend the money. A foundation chaired by the late Dr. Milton Eisenhower began looking for solutions 10 years ago. Today, it said it has found them. The cost of saving the children, communities that care, and $10 billion a year over the next 10 years. We went to see some of the places praised by the Eisenhower Foundation. We found one of them in the heart of Chicago.
I live 2 blocks from here, and every time when you go to sleep, there's some shooting, and every day, all night and all day, there's, the gangs out there doing drugs and all that.
17-year-old Carlos Cartagena isn't always prepared for Chicago's mean streets.
Keep it down, keep it on the board.
But he is prepared for a future.
Hold it nice and flat on the surface. Right? If it's too big for you, cut it in half.
I plan to go to work at the Hyatt and then stay there and go to a cooking school.
Carlos and these other students at Roberto Clemente High in Chicago are in a program called Project Prepare.
Scoop it like a melon baller.
The Hyatt Corporation and the Chicago School Board put up $500,000 to build a replica of a Hyatt hotel kitchen. The program is run by Youth Guidance, a community group. Jaime Rivera is the assistant director.
We're talking about access to opportunities where these kids know that it's real. So they can see that if they start from point A, they're going to go to point C, and it's concrete for them. So they're willing to make the commitment and the investment. That'll keep them off the streets. We believe it's a cost-effective method. If you look at what it costs the state or the city in terms of police, imprisonment, mental health, welfare, we think that this is an upfront prevention strategy that's far more cost-effective.
The Hyatt Corporation considers it an investment.
It's developing an employee pool, just a community pool where people can, if they want to come work for Hyatt, we're more than happy to take them.
Another goal of this project is to stop dropouts. About half the students in Clemente High drop out before graduation. Consuelo is 19, the mother of 2.
This program helped me a lot because I really wanted to be in school. I'd be somewhere, but not at school.
Carlos and his friend Tony are seniors. After graduation, they hope to work for Hyatt, but not forever.
Me, Carlos, and our friend Louis, we all want to get together after high school and stuff and open up our own restaurant.
When I heard that, my eyes welled up with tears. And it just touched me when I heard them say that. These kids are bonded with each other, that they find this as a sanctuary away from the violence and the drugs and the gangs and the crime that's going on. I think that eventually with the support, they could probably pull it off, that they can start a small business in their community and probably build on that down the future.
In the late 60s, another group, the Kerner Commission, looked at the rubble left by riots and expressed the eloquent hope that our cities would one day be citadels of the human spirit. The hope is still there. The cities are still waiting.
Charles with us to discuss the Eisenhower Foundation report. One of the authors, criminologist Elliot Curry of the University of California, Berkeley, and clinical psychologist Stanton Samanow, who specializes in criminal behavior. Let's go first to Mr. Curry. In this report, it seems to me that what you're saying is the bottom line, there are programs that work to help solve this inner city crime, but it's going to cost us billions, $100 billion. Can we afford it?
Yeah, it's going to cost something. The 100 billion figure is not quite what we say in the report. We talk about working up to a figure of $10 billion a year after increments of $2 billion over the first 5 years. Let me remind you something about what we're talking about here when we talk about this kind of social spending. We believe this is prevented social spending. We believe that it's cost-effective spending. We believe that these programs in the long run will pay for themselves.
Well, let's turn to Dr. Samanow. We're spending about $300 billion on the SNL cleanup. Why isn't this problem even more severe and therefore worth one-third as much?
The problem is severe. Who could be against investing in youth? The question is, what is the underlying set of assumptions? This report talks about addressing root causes. This is a rerun of the 60s. Everything but the federal deficit has been blamed for crime. To say that the root cause lies within the environment, I think absolutely misses the mark. It is a series of choices that a person makes. What impresses me is not the environment so much from which a person comes, but how he chooses to deal with that environment, whatever it is. So fine, teach inner city kids to cook. That's great. But teach a juvenile delinquent to cook, and you'll have a juvenile delinquent who cooks rather than a juvenile delinquent who doesn't cook. He's still a juvenile delinquent. You've got to get inside the mind and the choices.
Your implication is that people who are criminals are inherently criminal or innately criminal, that their environment isn't creating it. If that's true, why are there so many more criminals in cities proportionately than there are in the countryside? Isn't the city itself an environment that creates and breeds crime?
Leslie, the environment can either inhibit or facilitate crime, but I will tell you that according to FBI crime statistics, at least fairly recently, the suburban crime rate was rising faster than the crime rate in the inner city. You can do whatever you want with statistics. I deal with individuals, and I am saying that in whatever programs we have got to address the thinking patterns of youngsters, the choices they make, and not just believe that a better social environment by itself is going to do it.
Do you think, Mr. Curry, then, that maybe going at this because you're thinking it's an environmental problem is the wrong approach?
No, I don't think it's the wrong approach. I mean, once again, certainly you do have to get down to the individual level, but we can't isolate the individual from his or her surroundings. That's a fallacy, I think, to try and isolate one from the other. What I think we do need to do is get down in there into the social environment so that we can indeed change the choices, change the opportunities, even begin to talk about changing the values and the socialization processes that affect young people growing up in the city.
Are you dealing only with crime in this report?
No, we're not dealing only with crime. That report really is about ways of preventing crime, delinquency, drug abuse, and for that matter, what we call a more general pattern of youth investment, building really more competent, productive young people. Well, certainly, as Dr. Samanow suggests, we're not going to change everybody. No one says that we're going to. What we do think is that we can make a difference, that we can help, and that not doing it could be quite disastrous at this point in our history.
Do you, Dr. Samanow, not think it's worth investing money to improve the environment for children in the inner city?
I'm absolutely for it, but let's be realistic in what we expect in terms of the impact on the minds of those who turn to crime. It is not going to do much to prevent crime. It may improve the quality of life for millions of kids, and that may be worth doing.
Okay. Thank you very much for this heated debate. Dr. Samanow and Mr. Curry, thanks. Back to you, Charles.
Ahead on America Tonight, before there is shooting, there is debate as Washington weighs a declaration of war. And a savings and loan that made money vanish by magic.
The battery you want is the one that will keep running. And no regular battery can run longer than a Duracell. You can't top the Copper Top.
Eat your cereal. It's healthy. Open wide.
That's it. I've had it with these healthy, schmelty tasting cereals. I want a cereal that tastes so good. You want to eat it. Your mini wheat.
Dad, these are good for you.
I don't want to hear that.
No salt, no cholesterol, fat-free.
I can't hear you. All right, wrong number.
Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats. Surprise, they're good for you.
Got lots of fiber, too.
I didn't hear that. I heard that.
You're going to be knocked over by Tartar Control Aqua Fresh. It reduces ugly tartar and more. It helps remove plaque and fights cavities with fluoride, with taste that knocks over the leading brand. For a great deal more, get Tartar Control Aqua Fresh.
Oh. I can't get on the airplane.
What's wrong?
I said, cold. My nose is too stuffed up and congested. I'm going...
Here, take Actifed.
When you need strong medicine, you need full prescription strength Actifed. Of the 3 leading cold medicines once sold by prescription, only one still comes in its original maximum full prescription strength formula. Only Actifed.
You okay?
Yeah, this stuff really works.
For strong medicine, take full prescription strength Actifed.
100 years ago, before America's landfills were overflowing, these words were written. The earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. In the web of life, man is merely a strand. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. This thought is brought to you by Alcoa as a reminder to recycle your aluminum beverage cans. Already, half the aluminum cans come back for recycling. What about yours?
In 3, 2...
There's a thin line
I saw you slug him.
between right and wrong
We confessed to the murder.
when both sides are guilty.
You're going to do a story that's going to set that animal free. Do you always do the story, no matter what?
An unforgettable WIOU, Wednesday. She came face to face with death.
I've seen shootings before, and you don't survive getting shot in the face.
How she survived will amaze you Thursday on Top Cops.
The White House today turned aside calls from Democrats and Republicans for a special session of Congress to debate the buildup in the Persian Gulf. Joining us to discuss that, Congressman Jim Leach, Republican on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, and Congresswoman Pat Schroeder, Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee. Let's go first to Congressman Leach, a supporter of President Bush, who, as you well know, has been criticized lately for not articulating his reasons for this big buildup. For not explaining why we might have to go to war in the Persian Gulf. What do you understand those reasons to be, Congressman?
Well, I think, frankly, there isn't as much a problem of articulation as some people might assume. We've had the invasion of a foreign state. Our goal is to re-liberate Kuwait. We've also had American citizens used as hostages. Our goal is to protect American citizens. And very imaginatively, the President has articulated the goal of a new world order. That is the idea of American responses under international law with the support of a community of nations. What the President has personally chosen to do, however, unlike many other kinds of leaders, is to be low-key rather than highly charged. He's chosen to be more like Teddy Roosevelt. He carries a big stick, but he's speaking rather softly.
Congresswoman Schroeder, do you think those are good reasons to go off and fight, and do you think there should be a special session of Congress to hammer this out?
Well, I think one of the problems that we have is that people have just come back from campaigning, and we've been asked some very difficult questions for which we don't seem to have any answers. Everyone understands why the president went in very rapidly and kept Saddam Hussein from gobbling up more countries, and they're proud of that, and that's one of the things we could do. We can deploy fast. We did it. That's great. Now the question is, why aren't the others in the region, the other Arabs in the region, having to coexist with this bully? Why aren't they doing more? Why aren't the Japanese and the Europeans who require the oil from that region, why aren't they doing more? I think there's a lot of questions that we would like to ask because we've all been asked them by people at home. I've been very impressed by the depth of the questions I've gotten from the American public as I move around, and I'm sure every other member has too.
Congressman Leach, what about the fact that it seems to be turning more and more into an Americanized fight? I understand that there are about 20,000 to 40,000 Kuwaitis but there aren't that many other countries joining us in this battle as we build up and build up and build up.
Well, I think what is reality and what is actuality may be, or what is imaginative may be a little at odds. 54 countries have now supported the United States in one form or another, either with men or equipment. We will be the predominant force. There's no doubt about it. In fact, if we build up to 300,000 to 400,000, it will be overwhelming. On the other hand, what is surprising is not the lack of Arab support, but just how much there's been. Here we have Syria, a country
But not
with
for
which,
war, right? Just to sit there and not to go in and fight.
Let's be hesitant about that, too. The Egyptians have said they're not going to go into Iraq, but we aren't intending to either at this point in time. But they will be willing to go into Kuwait and be willing to fight on Saudi soil. Syria is a country...
Keep the peace, they said, not fight, right?
To keep the peace implies reestablishing the status quo prior to the invasion of Kuwait. Egypt has been very careful about saying they're committing troops to assist Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, although they don't want to fight on Iraqi soil. We don't either.
Well, let me ask both of you. First off, do you think there should be a special session of Congress? It seems that some Republicans and some Democrats want it and some don't, and the White House doesn't want it. Where do you come down?
I come down very strongly for a special session. I think it's quite appropriate if it looks like the use of force is going to be imminent. I'm not so sure a declaration of war is appropriate, but something like a declaration of support of commitment, a declaration of liberation of Kuwait could be appropriate.
Congresswoman Schroeder.
Obviously, I feel we really need to discuss this much more. There's so many things we don't know, and this is not the traditional role of America. We're in here really protecting monarchies and not democracies, and we're doing it by ourselves. So I think a special session, or I think much more dialogue with the American people is essential.
Let me ask you a real quick, fast one, Congresswoman Schroeder. If we go to war, if we're in a battle, do you think we're going to have to have a draft again?
Well, it all depends. I think at this point we don't need to. We've got enough people, but I think that there's going to be a lot fewer people signing up for the reserves and many other things because of this, and so it could really impair, and we might have to get to that thing. Remember, we still have draft registration.
Okay. We do. Okay, sorry to cut you off. Thank you very much, both of you, Congresswoman Schroeder and Congressman Leach. Charles?
Well, in America tonight continues a savings and loan that believed in magic and made some money disappear.
Tell Nuprin where it hurts.
It hurts behind my eyes. Right here.
Nuprin works at the site of pain, right at the spot. It helps stop the chemical reaction that triggers pain.
Headache? What headache?
Tell Nuprin where it hurts.
Imagine a light, clean, fresh antiperspirant scent touched by natural botanical essences. That's new Band Body Fresh. Band Body Fresh Scent. The new fresh way to keep that shower fresh feeling all day.
I want to fly in business class. My company only pays for coach. So I fly business class for the price of coach. It's called beating the system. Of course, you can't do it on just any airline.
Now till December 15th, when you buy an unrestricted domestic coach ticket on TWA, you can reserve a confirmed seat in our business class for the price of coach.
You pay for coach, you sit in business class, and it isn't even your birthday.
TWA's business class. We did it first, we do it better.
Hello, I'm Dan Rather. Hyperactive children, what makes it so hard for them to concentrate or sit still? That question has long troubled parents, and it may finally have an answer. And an important new study could lead to improved diagnosis and treatment. We'll have full details tomorrow on the CBS Evening News.
Panic.
They're horrible.
Fears.
I don't want to be here.
Phobias. And the fight to reclaim crippled lives. High anxiety and hope. 48 Hours, Wednesday.
America Tonight will continue.
At Affordable Living in Sampson, Alabama, we are proud of our good service and customer satisfaction. During our customer appreciation sale, we have a 14 by 70 with plywood floors, total electric, and 2 full baths for only $12.9. We also have a 24 by 44 3-bedroom, 2-bath with fireplace for only $16.9. So before the purchase of your new home, come by Affordable Living and let our friendly sales staff save you some money. Remember, we're located on Highway 87 South, Sampson, Alabama.
Alcoholism and chemical dependency is a disease, and if it goes untreated, it will get worse and can be fatal. Asking for help is a big first step. I feel alcoholism and chemical dependency are symptoms of many other problems.
Call Charter Woods Hospital. If you don't get help at Charter Woods, please get help somewhere.
Take that first step. Call Charter Woods Hospital today.
Rock and roll is okay, but I prefer rap.
Awesome. Wait a second. Shady Acres was supposed to get the Coke, and the frat house was supposed to get the Pepsi.
Coke, Pepsi, what's the difference?
I-24.
This is radical.
This is a magic trick I learned when I was 13 or 14. Way to make a 50-cent piece disappear. There's a savings and loan here in Los Angeles, First Network Federal Savings, that mastered the same trick. But there was more than 50 cents at stake. That S&L made nearly $140 million disappear. Part of it by old-fashioned sleight of hand.
If you took the coin and placed that in your hand and used the wand.
Ricky Jay is curator of one of the greatest magic collections on Earth, now in the hands of the United States government because the savings and loan that owned it failed. Other banks acquired farms and businesses. First Network's chief executive, an amateur magician, spent about $1.5 million of his bank's dollars to acquire bits of illusion and sleight of hand.
This is a particularly wonderful piece that did have a trick property. It was a little casket in which 4 coins were placed, and one at a time would vanish from the casket.
All this, the little casket, the magic wands, the memorabilia, helped First Network's money vanish too, but the collection is undeniably magical.
And the idea of this is that you can see that if you flip this book, it's all pages of a clown. But if you would make some mystical pass and flip the book again, you would see that it was quite a different clown. Or if you made a pass and flipped it again, you'd see that all the pages became a ballerina, or over here a harlequin.
The government is distinctly uncomfortable possessing clowns, harlequins, and ballerinas. Enter a bureaucrat named John Penrose of the Resolution Trust Corporation, the federal agency that is used to seizing boring assets like condominiums and shopping malls.
I was amazed. I scratched my head and said, my goodness, what on earth is a savings and loan doing with magic tricks?
The question now is, what is the federal government going to do with such unlikely possessions as an 1840 French automaton that tries to teach a bird to sing?
Our mandate is to maximize the economic value of the assets in institutions that have been seized.
That means selling off bankrupt housing developments and things like that. But what do you do with a letter like this?
This is a letter from John Neville Maskelyne, who was the most famous magician in England in 1898, saying, "Dear sir, I have no room for any additions to my company. I seldom change my artists. Yours truly, J.N. Maskelyne." The interesting thing is that this was sent to Houdini. It was a rejection letter.
And what to do about 15,000 rare books on magic? The Library of Congress would love to have all these books and tricks and posters, but lacks the cash to pay for them.
It is a possibility that the collection could be auctioned either as a whole or as individual pieces over a period of time.
It would be a great crime if this collection were dispersed at auction and broken up. It's been an ongoing collection ever since 1913.
Wanted, a genie with deep pockets who will appear by magic to buy the magic collection and donate it to a library or museum. It was easy for a banker to turn $1.5 million into magic. The real trick is for the federal government to turn the magic back into money again.
Lights? So, to show you how sales are doing, I prepared...
You never know what the day will bring, but the unexpected's a real sure thing.
When your body responds to sudden stress, Sure responds on demand.
Lights?
Sure's on-demand formula helps keep you dry.
Isn't it better to talk face-to-face?
On demand, you're more sure. Raise your hand.
Sales are cheap and easy. Nice job.
You're more sure.
It's called Drixoral. A powerful 12-hour cold medicine that at one time you couldn't buy without a doctor's prescription. Today you can. Drixoral works just as hard against colds as it always did. You just don't have to work so hard to get it. 12-hour prescription-strength Drixoral. You don't need a prescription, just a cold. Stay with us for more America Tonight.
Yo, Alf here. I'd like to talk to you about your planet. I like it, and you should too. But a lot of people aren't taking very good care of it. For starters, they're abusing our public lands. They're littering the beaches, vandalizing the parks, trashing the playgrounds, and basically treating the planet like rental property. Frankly, I don't understand it. People like that are running loose, and I'm the one who has to hide in the kitchen. Look, folks, public lands are not like pizzas. You just can't pick up the phone and order more. I should know. My planet was really abused. The next thing we knew, it was gone. Public land is our friend. If we don't take care of it, it'll be destroyed. If you want to help me take care of our public lands, call me. I'll send you all kinds of neat stuff. Even a recent photo of myself. Please, let's save the planet. I don't want to have to look for another one.
Whatever you're doing, go and bring the
You want to look at this portable TV or this VCR? Take either one home today for just $9.99 a week. Look at the great deals on all of our name brand TVs with prices starting at only $9.99 a week.
Check the yellow pages under TV rental for the rent-a-center nearest you.
Front pages tomorrow. Remember the Moonies? The New York Times reports that the Reverend Sun Myung Moon is recruiting hundreds of Soviet students, bringing them to America for indoctrination and billing the trips educational excursions. Tomorrow, President Bush briefs congressional leaders on the Persian Gulf. The National League names its Cy Young Award winner, the odds-on favorite Doug Drabek of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and in California, Sonny Bono of Sonny and Cher, now mayor of Palm Springs, may run for the U.S. Senate. The beat goes on.
We began our program tonight talking about the trouble our children are in and the cost of getting them out of trouble. $10 billion a year, a high figure. Here are some figures to be released here in Los Angeles tomorrow. 114,000 abused and neglected children were found in this one American county last year. 43 teenagers killed themselves. One child per week was murdered by his parent or guardian. 2,400 babies were born addicted to drugs. Consider those high figures and add them to those from the rest of the country. Maybe $10 billion isn't such a high figure after all. Good night, Leslie.
Night, Charles. Night, everyone.
I'm Harry Smith.
And I'm Paula Zahn. He starred in Bull Durham and Field of Dreams, but can he direct?
What does Gene Siskel think of Kevin Costner's Dances with Wolves tomorrow on CBS This Morning?
This is CBS.
Please stop crying. Well, all of my friends drink. It's not like we get drunk or anything. We just like to have a good time. Get off my back! Don't you think you're making a big deal out of this. I mean, I don't have the problem. You have the problem. No more drinking. Stop crying! I promise it's the last time.
You've tried everything. Nothing's worked.
Maybe you walked out of your purse. Maybe you lost it. Don't go accusing me.
But there is hope. Get through to us at the National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence, and we'll help you get through to them, just as we've helped thousands of others. Just don't give up.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
I believe in a triple standard. One for girls, one for boys, and one for sisters.
It's 2-on-1 when the Keaton sisters take on Big Brother.
Look, guys, I may be only 9 years old, but I'm a person, too.
That's the thing about girls. They never fight fair.
Ow! You dug your nails into my hand.
Oh, did I? So sorry.
And now you've got a ringside seat for the Battle of the Siblings 5 times a week on Family Ties.
He's so cute when he falls apart.
Family Ties, weekdays at 4:30 on Channel 4. WTVY, Channel 4 Dothan. CBS Late Night presents Wise Guy, starring Ken Wall.
Tonight on Wise Guy.
Stems